Want to meet the USA's most prolific serial predator?
Challenge accepted. And if somehow you don't know, I have a podcast called Troubled. It's by survivors of behavior modification, conversion therapy, all that jazz. All links in my bio. But I would like to introduce you to the Music Man. Trigger warning. I'm a walking trigger warning. So this episode of Troubled is actually with two survivors from the 90s who were involved in the New York Child Victims Act in the Supreme Court, which was allowing CSA survivors to finally do something about it because unfortunately most of us were out of time. And I talk about it a lot on the podcast because I have a lot of survivor's guilt for being able to avoid this guy because a teenage child warned me that they were a predator. I also used another pedo against that. It's a long story. You can links in the bio. But we're going to tell our kids that this Big Mac is Paul Gear. Here's why. We literally have a survivor meme group for the family school on Facebook, and I'm just going to use a bunch of them as green screen. So he is an admitted sex addict, and we know he's a pedo predator. Thank you. And he actually led Sexaholics Anonymous in our 12-step based cult program, where he traumatized my fellow survivors with his stories about sitting outside of children's schools and masturbating into a Big Mac. And again, links in bio, but I did interview two of the guys that were in my family unit that were forced into Sexaholics Anonymous with this guy. It's the House Brother episode and the Westgood episode. And we've all got eating issues, pooping issues, and sex issues because all of our meals were table topics, which were attack therapy, where the adults and the kids would just completely verbally berate and break down children, blaming them for their own sexual assaults, horrible things that I'm still unpacking. Survivors are constantly having to watch this guy's employment history because he's still working often as a choir teacher with children, especially within Christian churches or Christian groups. And this is why we need your help raising awareness so that we can actually get criminal charges against these guys. Because most of these people are still in education, still working with kids, and they are predators. This one didn't age well, I guess. And again, I don't know how much clearer I can be. He's not the only one, right? Behavior modification of youth, conversion therapy, religious boarding schools, all of these things are a magnet for child predators because they're all cool with it. This was 30 years in the Catskill Mountains. I believe he is the most prolific serial predator. He had no gender discrimination, no age discrimination, no type. 30 years, and he was one of many. The majority of the adult males in this program are predators, in my personal experience.